Hi, and welcome to this next video in my off-pattern series, where I share a little bit of my yarny journey and ramblings and ideas that don't really fit into any of my usual designer content. So today I wanted to talk to you about gauge and how different needles adjust your gauge. So I've been working on this sweater for the fall. I just casted it off yesterday. And I made most of the sweater with my knit pick circular needles, which are metal needles, size 5, well, 5 mm, except for the ribbing, of course. But like the body was with those needles. And I got my gauge, like I made my gauge swatch, I blocked my gauge swatch, I measured it, I did all the math. It was all working nice. And then I got to the sleeves. And for the sleeves, because you're working in the round, I don't want to use those because then I have to do the magic loop, and I don't do magic loop. I hate it. So I have my mini circulars, which are my favorites, which are these tiny friends. They're also from Knit Picks, but the problem is they're wooden needles, and I like metal needles. So my body is with metal needles, and then I switched to wood and a shorter, way shorter needles and cables. And that actually tends to tighten up my tension, unfortunately. And most of the time, I can get away with it. It doesn't make a huge difference. But for this one, I had this like very, very visible line right here that I hated. It's gone now because I did something about it. So I hated it. I don't like it when you can see there's a change and there's not supposed to be one. Like it's not super how you should do it. So my gauge was tighter because of I was like knitting tighter with the smaller needles, and like the wood is more grippy than the metal, so that tends to tighten up your tension. So what I did is I tried going up a needle size. So instead of 5 mm, I used my 5.5 mm. Well, turns out that didn't work either, because then it was too loose, and you could still see the difference, but in the other direction, which was also not good. So what I ended up doing is doing some hybrid stuff. So I ended up using a 5 mm needle and a 5.5, so that it was kind of in between, because there's no 5.25, at least not in my sets. So I used a bigger needle on the right hand, so where the stitches are starting, and then the smaller needle at where you've picked them up from. And that actually gave me a right balance. So basically what I wanted to tell you today is you can go in between by using a needle of each size, and it's going to give you a gauge that's kind of in between two sizes, which can come in handy when you want to be precise. And I've never done this for like a full sweater, like as the main size. But when you want to switch needle or you're switching techniques, you're working a part in the round and then a part flat. That also tends to have an impact on your gauge. Or you're doing like me and you're switching needles and you don't have those in metal because they don't exist from this brand, and you don't want to do everything with wood because you hate wood. So then you have to adjust. And this is how I do it. Yeah. This sweater will be coming in the fall, don't worry. Someday, I don't know when yet. It's gonna be pretty. Well, I think it's pretty. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today in this off-pattern video. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Have a fun day.